The first time I had heard of PMT was through an article on Elijah List from Kent Simpson. And I had gone and seen his school of prophetic knowledge, and at that time I just didn't know anything about it. But another article came out, and I went to the website and saw that they had a gathering in January. And I was just so drawn to it. I just needed to know more about the prophetic. So I asked the Lord, should I go to this gathering? And he said yes. And so I came to the Dallas PMT gathering in January, not knowing anything, not even sure what I was walking into. And I wasn't necessarily nervous, I just didn't know. But the moment I walked into the conference room, peace. It's complete peace, that I was in the place that I needed to be. And that conference just opened me up to what the School of Prophetic Knowledge was, how PMT just had a heart to raise up people in the prophetic and teach them and help guide them into the next step of ministry. So I immediately thought I just needed to do this school. Like, this is exactly what God's called me to do. It answers so many questions because I didn't have anyone to teach me or show me how to walk in this. So went home, went through the school. Joe went through the school as well.
She thought enough of me to buy me a copy as well, or
I did.
A workbut.
He got his own workbook.
We did part of it together,
Yep.
and I finished up the rest of it just before coming here.
Yep, and Kent Simpson also at that January meeting instilled this concept I hadn't thought about, is having prophecies over your children. Jesus did it before he ever went to the temple. He was prophesied over. So why shouldn't we do that for our children? And I immediately was like, oh, yeah, why not? So at that meeting, I requested prophetic words over our children, and got them 6 weeks later. Really stirred in me this idea of, what if our family could go and attend a PMT? And when we found the next session happened, coincidentally to fall over our spring break, we're like, okay, let's do it. And so we come here this weekend expecting God to move, and he did. And all I can say is PMT has just helped me develop and grow in the passion area that God had started to move in. And I'm very thankful, step by step. And
Absolutely.
And just one last question. That was an awesome testimony. Why do you think people should come to the gatherings?
I think anyone that God is stirring in them a desire to know more about how he speaks through people, how he can use people in ways that are beyond your maybe traditional setting, I say come here and find out how God wants to use you. Because that's the biggest takeaway that I've seen. It really is going to change our family, because we now know how God has gifted us and the things he's created us to do. And that's why I think people should come.